everybody. Welcome to Umbracoffee at Codegarden. Not a break, like this says, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Welcome, everyone. It's so amazing to be here at Codegarden, the 20th year, Codegarden 20th edition, 20th year, back in Unser. Yes. Marcin, good to see you. We're on the same continent for once.
Exactly. And we don't know which episode of Umbracoffee this is because we stopped counting.
Yes.
But we counted other numbers. And funny enough, Jan just said to me that we are missing 20 subscribers on YouTube for our 20th anniversary of Codegarden.
It feels like we've been here before.
Yeah, we decided to celebrate 1,000 subscribers every year. So even if we will pass it today, what most likely will happen, then we will remove some subscribers for the next year, because we like to celebrate.
Yeah.
So Umbracoffee is a stupid idea that was born at some point that when we decided to talk about Umbraco when we worked together. I needed some English support because I was asked to do it globally, and I was a very shy Polish guy, barely speaking English then. And Callum helped me to evolve those skills, and not only those skills then. And we do it since then for how many years?
I don't know how long it's been. Is it 2016 or 17? It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. So, yeah, amazing that we get to still do this sometimes.
And yeah, we love to do that, especially on the events like this, because then we have you guys, YouTubers and subscribers do not see this crowd yet, but we do like to feel this energy, because believe me or not, sitting in front of the computer is not the same when you do it live on the live stream. No. Then we have guests, then we talk about Umbraco, Codegarden, and whatever else we can talk about underneath the...
And we have a bit of a tradition at Codegarden that we give away certain special prizes, and given that this year it is the 20th edition of Codegarden, we have a 20th edition Umbracoffee coffee, full beans.
Again, smuggled straight from Poland. So,
as always, in a suitcase.
But we have only 20 bags, so it's a really limited 20th edition.
It's going to be a fight for these. They look great, and they smell amazing as well.
And I like one sentence, because I got removed from Canva account where I had the previous labels. And I have this new one made for this year, and this says Coffee Code Community Codegarden.
Wow.
Nice.
Lovely. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss those. Anyway, Marcin, how's your Codegarden been so far?
It was amazing. To be fair, I arrived a little bit late because a lot of the people, especially MVPs who are here from Sunday, Monday, they were already in the middle of the week. I arrived late on Wednesday, but yeah, it was great so far. And I attended a lot of talks today, especially. And of course, I'm looking forward for what is going to happen later today and also tomorrow.
Who knows what's going to happen tonight? The save icon that everyone's wearing around their necks has been an area of particular discussion. So this year, kind of, I guess, a retro type theme. There's this floppy disks that everyone has got on as their lanyards, which I really like. It's a nice touch. And there's been a game to go plug them in at various computers around the venue and like check it. Has anyone won anything yet? There's a few people. I heard it's socks. You win socks.
Okay. Spoiled everything. But yeah, I like the theme, and also we have something special for MVPs this year as well, because if you're walking around the venue, you can see people hanging some of the pins like this. I was told to not move them on one side, because then I would be dragged left side or right side. So yeah, it is a chain that we'll be holding for years probably, and I'm just awaiting the times when someone will have 20 of these and couldn't be, standing in front of us as an MVP. But that's a really nice addition.
Yeah, it's a great addition as a MVP for 8 years now as well, Marcin. Congrats. It's been nice to actually get something to commemorate each and every year, because we get our little concrete statue and then nothing else. So it's lovely. Anyway,
let's get someone else about some highlights of the event.
So the event kicked off with a very long, perhaps too long, keynote, 2 hours, where packed full of information about what's happening with the Umbraco product, with the community and beyond. And there was a few highlights for me. So maybe we could invite Ken and Lasse onto the stage to talk about the product. Give them a big standing ovation. My two favorite product people.
Ooh.
Yes. So maybe Lasse, Ken, you could just introduce yourselves quickly.
Yeah, I'm Lasse. I'm a product manager at Umbraco. Been there for 3.5 years. Started in the CMS team, and now to what we probably should talk a bit about, Umbraco Compose team.
Compose, yes. So for those that don't know, just quickly, Compose is the orchestration type project that is being worked on at Umbraco.
Yeah, so we called it orchestration until yesterday. Where we briefly just want to embrace the composability in the architecture that we see around. So the headless evolution, best of breed, and all these things.
And it's not renamed hardcore.
No, it's not. But of course, we take quite a lot of learnings away from hardcore. But everything that you saw yesterday is new, but with inspiration and knowledge from hardcore as well.
Exciting. Ken?
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm Ken. I'm part of the team that builds the CMS. Been here for a few years. My title is growing so long that it cannot fit the floppy disk, so no one knows what this is. Doesn't matter.
How long have you been in the Umbraco community? Because I saw a picture of you in the keynote yesterday from a very long time ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay.
Too long.
You don't know what number Codegarden
Is
this
there
is for you?
such a thing as too long?
No, of course not. Of course not. We love having you. So, Ken, you've been working on search recently in the CMS.
Search. Yes.
Cool. Maybe you want to tell us a bit about this. I watched your talk earlier, and it was excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, well, so we are revamping everything search from the ground up. Well, we want to take all the tricky parts out of search to the point possible and make it easy for everyone to actually build a search engine that you would expect a search engine to be on your respective websites. That's pretty much the idea.
I'm very excited by the idea that search becomes this completely pluggable experience, and as you showed in your talk earlier, to the point where you can switch out a line of code or configuration and the entire backend provider changes with no noticeable difference to the front end.
Precisely.
That's really awesome.
It's also interesting like, how across the years it was like search became a huge problem at some point because it was usually the issues with examine, file systems, whatever. Then I like your idea about puzzles on the slides because then everyone started building their own puzzles, their own search providers. Everyone experimented with either Elastic, Azure Search, and all the other ones. And now examine was the puzzle that needs to be detached at some point through the abstractions. And now whenever I speak with anyone who was building a very complex search implementations, they're working happier, and they see the abstractions and they see, okay, now we are talking about this because that's exciting work, and fingers crossed that it will be made. I liked your timeline as well.
yes, it's soon.
Soon. Non-committal, but a package for 16 and 17, and then maybe in post-17.
Precisely. So the LCS will remain unaffected to the point that you don't have to do this. Sometimes later on, we will enforce this, so you will be eventually forced to reckon with the new search, hopefully for the better.
But I know, because I've been nosing around what you've been up to recently on the GitHub, the Umbraco source code, you've been making a few changes to the back office and to the way that Umbraco composes itself so that you can disable, examine, or make the back office search multilingual, etc.
Yeah, so we've snuck in subtle changes to make sure that we can switch out the examine implementation on the fly with the new search, because we kind of knew that we had to do this anyway, and it would be breaking to put it in afterwards. So
And that's in 16?
That's in 16, yes.
Exciting. Very cool. 16, of course, came out on Thursday last week, or Wednesday? A few days ago.
Thursday.
They are better informed than I am.
We are not informed. Anyway, awesome. So yeah, I'm excited about search, and as we discussed earlier as well, things like faceting that were previously complex have become first-class citizens and are literally a class away from you just implement a class and it works if the provider supports it.
Yeah, to a point, yes. I mean, it should just work out of the box, and if you need something else, you can build it. Yeah. And that's more or less the philosophy behind Umbraco. It should just work. If it doesn't, rebuild it.
Yeah,
But
amazing.
But it's also aligned with the kind of flexibility theme because, as you mentioned, replacing search provider only for the front end, for example, right, is something what was awaited and needed. And then now these puzzles can be easier replaced or in the smaller chunks.
Or removed completely. If you have no need for search, you just don't have search. And
Yeah, you can do that.
Don't need indexes, etc.
Precisely. And as your site grows, if you need to scale out, you need to go to an out-of-process engine, well, swap the one you have with an out-of-process implementation. Everything else, as long as you stick within the boundaries of the abstraction, it should just work.
Amazing. And the question everyone will probably continue to ask, what happens to examine? What's happening to examine?
Well, hopefully examine will be getting better and better. That's what I would hope for examine. I love examine. and we are very happy with Examine. We are not getting rid of Examine at all. It is the only sensible choice to use for a product as Umbraco. So, well, Lucene.net and by, well, Examine makes sense. So
make Shannon do all the hard work of actually getting Lucene.net to work well, and you just use his abstraction.
thank you, Shannon. We love you.
Yeah, we love Shannon. Amazing. Lasse, so I would say probably the highlight of the keynote for me was the introduction to Umbraco Compose. Maybe you can tell us a bit about what you've been working on.
Yeah. So you introduced Hardcore, so we have taken some of the learnings from Hardcore. Hardcore is the CMS locked to only be headless, and then a SaaS offering, and then a content delivery platform. And we have taken, you could say, the content delivery platform as a standalone project, so that you now can ingest data from whatever. It doesn't have to be Umbraco, it can be whatever source you want, and you can get data out, and you do that with GraphQL.
Amazing. So it's complete GraphQL delivery layer, much like Hardcore has, but then a decoupled data storage, essentially, or data sources.
Yeah, exactly. So what we showed yesterday is that you have projects, environments, and collections, right? So collections most often will be, for example, from a CMS. It could be a PIM, a DAM, ERP, all the acronyms there. And then GraphQL will let you query across these collections, which is what makes it really powerful.
I think that the thing that really sold the whole vision for me was seeing someone with their Umbraco CMS and having a orchestration section. I mean, probably needs a better title, but an orchestration section with other sources of data there that they could then pick and interact with directly in the CMS that were from somewhere else, and it felt like a first-class citizen, like that content belonged in the CMS, but it wasn't pulling from the Umbraco database.
Oh, exactly. So it was set up like with a setting. We have to say thank you here to Mads from the CMS team. He helped us make it look native. But yes, underlying there's a GraphQL, and then you query, right, and then you exchange a few parameters, and then then you have the fields that you ask for, and all the functionalities like ordering, filtering, and so on.
But we were talking earlier that it can be Umbraco, it doesn't need to be Umbraco, but where we used similar products, for example, was that when clients had old versions of Umbraco, for example, or multiple versions of Umbraco, and then they needed something new or newer, then we were just slowly replacing some of the content being ingested from multiple sources. So it can be, and you are now in the listening phase as well, because you're talking a lot, you're gathering all the input, and the product is in the making. You can probably also mention about the team and the collaboration team that is gathered right now to talk about it, right?
So
there's multiple people involved to also
so of
shape
course
the product.
we have the Hardcore team that works on it, but we pretty early started up the orchestration advisory board that has helped us shape it. And also, they saw a demo a bit earlier than you saw a demo, right? And having feedback on that has been really valuable.
Yeah. That looks amazing. And again, we talked with some of the colleagues yesterday that if it does it like this, it will be still close to Umbraco, and it will allow us with our kind of own experience to utilize this. And we talked about other products, competitors that are even doing it more visually. And if it will be done in Umbraco-friendly way and UX, that's an exciting future for us to compose things when they need to be composed.
Feels much more Umbraco than maybe the DXP type vision we were being sold, like Mac architecture, etc., in the previous years. And there was a diagram in your talk yesterday that had like all these, snaking lines, and that's kind of the reality to date, because no one has tried to own the orchestration layer, or they're often tightly coupled with other parts of your system. So it looks very promising. What's the plan from here? We're in June. Where do we go?
So in the talks yesterday, we opened up for a beta. Private beta, so people could apply for that, and we will pick what we can support from there. So that will happen over the summer. We expect that around beginning next year will be a commercial product on it. We need to add quite a few things like UI, for example, but
detail.
And also be able to host it. Right now it's hosted in Rasmus's Logger, so maybe not. But that will, of course, be things we're working on, and we're not that far away from that.
Amazing. Well, let's give our amazing product team a good round of applause.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. And before you go, make sure to take a 20th edition Umbracoffee coffee. Are they numbered, Marcin?
No.
We're not doing that this one. Okay.
Mine's number 1.
We forgot.
Yes, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Should we bring some more guests on?
Yes, of course, why not?
Some old friends, perhaps. Carla, Andy, the Umbraco Awards show hosts. Welcome
Big
to the
round.
stage. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Carla, welcome to Umbracoffee.
Well, thank you.
As you,
It's
as
become
you've called
our
it in the past.
tradition, right?
Yeah, you've been on a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is third year,
Third
maybe?
in a row, perhaps,
Yeah.
at
I dragged
Codegarden?
him along with me last
Yeah.
year,
Thank you.
and he's still here.
I have to say, the award show last night went off without a hitch. It seemed excellent.
Well, those confetti cannons really don't like me, but
That's true.
beyond that, yes.
Oh,
we
and
were quite
envelopes,
pleased.
great envelopes.
Yeah.
I actually rigged your confetti cannons before the...
I don't doubt that, actually. That makes a lot of sense. But no, the run-through is always a little challenging because we're practicing the day before. Codegarden starts to run through with the AV team, but we honestly can't play the whole thing because we can't play the winner videos because the venue is filled with people bustling, setting things up. So we just hope that they're all in the right order, the right ones get played. They got played in order this year, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Did they?
Yep.
I think they did.
Nobody
It was
said
pretty
they
slick.
didn't, so I'm pretty sure we did okay.
It was pretty slick. And any highlights from the projects that were featured? There were some really lovely looking websites that I saw.
Yeah, I mean, so the juror went through over 200 entries this year, so that's a lot. For me, there was one that stood out because it won 2 categories. It won both the commerce category, but also the Jury's Choice Award. You don't have to have already won one of the categories to be a Jury's Choice. I think you guys at Tangent won Jury's Choice, but didn't actually win the official category. So when the jury has picked something for both to get 2 awards, you know it stands out. So I'd have to call that one out for Bond Jewelry.
Yeah, it was a really lovely site.
And your highlight, Andy?
I'm a big fan of the Package Awards, as I said, and SEO Toolkit and Patrick. I'd like to hear a big cheer for Patrick.
Yeah, it's been around 4 years, the package. As he said, it's a tried and tested package, and he's been keeping it up to date with all the latest versions of Umbraco. It's a kind of essential in a lot of people's toolkits.
This is the thing. He spent 4 years of his life working on this, and it benefits the entire community, benefits all of our projects. So we should really be grateful for everybody that's working on packages. So big up.
Fantastic. There was something else I wanted to touch on, which was, for the first time ever, there was a musical guest at the...
Yes, he actually was just up here on this couch. Yeah.
No, really?
Lhasa.
Impossible.
Did you know? that he has
Way to
that-
Glastonbury next week as well.
Really?
Headlining the Pyramid stage on
Okay.
Sunday. Lhasa, yeah.
With his ukulele.
I
Amazing.
quite like the plastic bags as a exclamation point and hidden.
Tell us how this came about, because I got a glimpse of it yesterday. Carla, you and Lasse are part of a group called CMS Experts with Boy & Co.
Yeah, the Boy & Co. group, they have something every, at their big CMS conferences that's called CMS Idol, much like American Idol. You have a version in the UK as well. And Lasse had not only built a website, but written a custom song to go with it. And somehow he was legitimately robbed. Like, he got second place.
What?
And so I figured this was a chance to let him shine. You're always first place in our hearts.
Oh. A man of many talents, clearly.
Yeah.
Orchestration, ukulele.
Yep. But also, I think we're trying to make the award show entertaining, fun. It's a serious event. I mean, obviously, winning an award is something that means a lot to those winners, and so we try to add some playfulness, but want to make sure that it's still professional. We felt like that would be a nice touch.
If you have any words of advice or motivation to people who maybe didn't win this year and would like to win next year, feeling a bit disheartened, what would you say?
Well, I'll just add, being a juror 3 years ago now, I went through the selection process, and there is a lot of time and effort that go into the entries. I was actually blown away by the production value of some of the entries and the time that people spend explaining the sites or the packages that they've built. So not that those are gonna ensure that you win, but the better you can describe to a juror what you've accomplished and what might be unique and creative about your product or project, that helps a lot.
I'd also say that even to be nominated is such a huge honor. There's 200 entries. We first entered in 2022, and we got nominated. We didn't win, and then we came back the following year and won Jury's Choice. So keep plugging away, be proud of your work, showcase it, shout about it, and if you do get nominated, it's huge, huge kudos.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see also clients coming with the teams on the stages and also with the awards. And to be honest, I hear from some of the potential clients and clients that they want to be award-winning companies. So that's also a huge kudos to the idea behind the awards. And as we've mentioned, probably every year we do feel also inspired a lot through watching the projects and also seeing what else everyone else is doing.
And they don't know in advance. The only people that know the winners are, well, us, because we've had to run through it, and the jurors, of course. So, yeah, it's a gamble, maybe, bringing your clients, but it's super great to have more people in the room and witness that whole show.
For sure.
Where are you looking for inspirations then for next year? Any Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais and stuff like that? So.
I don't know, we thought about adding some funny, iconic moments like the Will Smith slap or something, but we didn't want to push it too far. So we'll see what happens in the next year.
You just want someone to go on stage and slap me, don't you?
Might be me, who knows?
It all started with just a music performance, so who knows what will happen next, right?
Carla, third or fourth Codegarden?
This is my fourth.
Fourth, amazing. And Andy?
Fourth.
Amazing. So, given that it's the 20th year anniversary, any highlights from over the years you want to share with the audience?
Actually, one of the talks I saw today was truly inspirational. I don't know if you saw in the keynote, but there was some talk about MCP and the work that Phil and Matt have done. Really, truly inspiring. And I certainly am going to go away, look at the MCP toolkit and the SDK, and look at other connections we can bring into that conversational interface. It was truly inspiring.
I think as well the potential that the new Compose project brings as well is huge, where you could pull all of that data into a single place. It's GraphQL, so MCP can talk that language and can, you can build an interface with LLMs very easily for all of your data.
This was it. We were taking composable architectures for our projects for the last, 3 years, but it was a huge overhead. So we'd have to build all of our ETL pipelines, put in Elasticsearch, put in all of our services, put in GraphQL, and that just made the projects expensive, slow to market, and we're really excited about Compose because it cuts all of that out, and we can go to market much quicker and start delivering value in different areas.
Yeah, and I'll just add, over the last 4 years, the Codegarden has grown into a pretty diverse community, not just dev heavy anymore. I own a digital agency, so I am looking for talks that are relevant for me as well. So I think just the content itself has been really varied, and Matt Brailsford did an amazing talk at the MVP Summit, first thing, the keynote on neurodiversity, and as a business owner, I understand better why some of my employees like to work the way they work or want to stand and then sit. So I think that as this community grows and evolves, it's important for Codegarden as they look at the program to make sure that we're serving all of the attendees. And I'm from America, so it's pretty cool to see more and more people making the trek all the way over here, because it's not easy and not cheap for a lot of us. So seeing more and more people from other countries come to this event has been really exciting as well.
I heard a stat that Marilu might kill me for saying. Maybe we'll see. We'll try it. A few weeks ago, and this might be wrong now as well, so this could be completely irrelevant, that this year something like 20% of all attendance was from the US. Marilu?
Oh, really?
Looking scared. Okay, who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
Blame Emma. Emma told me.
I did hear a stat, though, in the keynote. She said 40% of attendees were first-timers.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's pretty remarkable, because there are some tried and true, been here every year attendees, and to have 40% of newbies is pretty remarkable.
And it's perfect, because we still haven't hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and I just hear this 20 again, 20 years,
Still
20 subscribers.
With last year, we hit 1,000
20%.
subscribers during the evening celebrations, and then some people went home and unsubscribed. I have no idea why.
How
Unbelievable.
how it happens. Why? No, but that's amazing. And again, where we all have been 20 years ago, how it all changed through even the last year, right? And what is going to happen next. It all became easier. And I'd also like those highlights that you've mentioned because we don't know what happens next. And that's exciting at the same time and scary. But that's how it is, right?
Yeah. Anything you're excited about tonight? I mean, we have the evening celebration. Have you heard any rumors?
Maybe.
Oh.
Do you
It's
want
always
to
a
win
surprise.
an axe?
Do I want to win a what? Axe?
An axe?
You want to win an axe by spoiling anything? Don't. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Perhaps we can give Carl and Andy a massive round of applause. It's always lovely having you
Great.
on
Thank
our
you, guys.
couch. And be sure to take a coffee with you.
Yep. One for you. Cheers.
Ah, right. Marcin, I'm going to sit on the sofa for a bit. Wow, that's lovely. How are we doing for time? Are we good?
One more question. What is this picture?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Andy, you need to demystify
You left a
that.
picture behind. What's this about?
Yeah? Do it.
What on earth is this?
Well, if you know anything about the game Lie, it's a dice game. I was in HQ on Tuesday night for the HQ party, and I went out for something called an egg, which means that I didn't get rid of any of my dice. You can't do any worse than that. It's like going out for a duck in cricket. And these are actually now being put around the Codegarden venue. And I was going to make appeal. I'm glad you asked me about this, so I'm appealing to the Umbracoffee audience. If you find any of these and can return them to me, and this is me in egg format, Andy Eggadale, it's been called, I will get you a drink from the bar. So if every one of these you find and can return to me, I will get you a drink from the bar tonight. So it's an appeal.
An appeal. Okay, I've seen a few of them.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
have to
quite
go
a lot.
hunting.
We like games. We like games. Cool.
Oh,
nice
dear.
idea.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, awesome. Marcin,
Yes.
what have your highlights been? This is, I don't know how many Umbracoffee lives we've done in the last few years, but it's a couple. It's got to be a couple, more
I
than a
missed
couple.
some of them from other events because we used to travel across the events and then talk there and highlights from all the years.
Just Codegardens in
Codegarden
general.
has, I think, first Umbracoffee live.
First ever? Yeah, there was some
And
good
all of the
good-
people,
good
MVPs on the
energy.
stage.
That was a great
the
year.
time, so that was
It was a
amazing.
great year. I think just Codegarden highlights in general. I was talking with someone yesterday explaining that one time Niels was dangled from the ceiling in Dog 5000. I think that is an epic feat, not least because he must have been scared. I saw he'd kind of given me a heads up that it might have happened, and I was looking,
Didn't believe.
and I could see him there sort of like pulling on the rope and like getting into position to be winched down, and it didn't look comfortable or, I think that's quite impressive.
Yeah. There were a lot of things I think that I would highlight because from the talks itself, generally connections, networking, and also generally people and exchange of ideas. So, plus of course all of the abilities to be here in general every year. It's like it's my first event this year, first conference. Yeah, I'm not asking you how many of them these you attended, but this is my first conference this year because I intentionally avoided all of the conference for the half of the year, but I couldn't avoid this because I didn't want to. So that's a highlight.
Unmissable. I personally think, I've said this to Marilou, I've said it to Steffi already, but I think this is one of the best organized Codegardens I've been to in a long time. People can probably see from the smile I've had on my face all week, which is unusual for me.
Big kudos
honestly.
to everyone who did it.
They've done a great job. They've done a great job.
That's unusual to see people who are organizers walking, smiling, cheering with people, talking with everyone.
Yes.
And we've been there,
Yes.
done.
Yes.
But
Should we get our final batch
Yeah,
of
I
guests
think-
on? I think we've got 3 people this time.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if I can remember who we're inviting. We've got Taylor. We've got
Rich and Per.
And Per, thank you. They're all in front of me. Give them all a round of applause. Cool. We have 2 microphones for you all to fight
You need
over.
to share.
Well. Yeah, this is going to be cozy. This is going to be cozy. No wonder this is why we've got chairs on the side. It's lovely to see you all.
Lovely to see you too.
Per, you have a long history of this conference.
Yes, I've been to, well, not all of them, but nearly. Like, no, I missed the first one. Well,
You missed the first
Yeah,
one?
I missed the first
And-
one. Well, of course, I missed the last couple ones the last couple of
Yes.
years for obvious reasons as well, yes.
Yes.
And Per, you were also hanging from the ceiling then, right? If I remember
Not at this
correctly.
venue, no.
Not at this venue.
No.
Not yet? Not yet.
Amazing. And Rich, this is not your first Codegarden.
No, I think this is my third.
Amazing. But
Yeah.
you are a newly minted Umbraco MVP.
Yes, this year. Very
Congratulations, Rich.
exciting. Thank you very much.
And Taylor, I believe this is your first Codegarden,
Yes, it is.
but you are also a newly minted MVP.
Yeah, big year.
Amazing. Give
Yeah.
Taylor a huge round of applause. And Taylor, you were heavily involved in the US summit, or festival, sorry?
Yeah, so
relaunch.
I think that's really how I started to get to know this community on a much deeper level. I was always exposed to it from other people I work with, and so being a part of it for the first time, I was like, I recognize these names. Being a part, it was great. So just being getting the hey, job well done, and the conference was awesome was enough, and then to be recognized as an MVP for that effort was just all that more special. So.
I can tell you, having just praised the team here, I was at the last US festival in Chicago in 2018, and I was fortunate to be at both of the US summits in 2022 and 3, and you blew it out of the water. It was amazing, such a good event, and had all of the community vibes and the feels that you want back, so that's great. Per, you'll have a bunch of stories about US festivals of the past, San Diego road trip.
We thought it would be fun to, instead of going to San Diego, we went to San Francisco. And then we rented a car, and it was like the worst piece of shit car I've ever been in. It was like a Chevy, one of those like muscle cars, but it was made out of like plastic. and the thing, like the entertainment system was like, I think they just decided to have like a 10-year-old chip, because when the Chevy logo turned on, then it just started like glitching, and then it just like stopped for a minute, and then you're like, does this car even work? But it was like a bright yellow convertible car, so it's like we looked like a gay couple with a midlife crisis coming to the Pacific Highway. It was a good trip.
That's good. That's good.
But then let's get back to history a little bit. What would be your guys' highlights so far? And Per, we can start from you. If you would be asked to choose one moment of the history with Umbraco, whatever it happened, what it would be?
Well, there's a lot of things to pick from, I think. That's a really good question, actually. I think there's two. I have two good ones that means a lot to me, at least. I think maybe everyone else feels differently. That's fine. But it's like, so like two, I think, major moments is, for me, Umbraco 5, which we don't talk about, and then also like Umbraco 7, if you want to like pin it to like a certain version. I think, like for myself, like I learned a tremendous lot professionally about the things we did for Umbraco 5 and how it was cancelled and so on, and like how it was really pulled back and the mistakes. You learn a ton of things from your mistakes, and I think also if you look at how things are done now and the changes that were made after, it was overall like a good thing. Like we learned like a lot of things as a company, but also as people, and it was like a traumatic way of learning it, but it was good.
Not many people can say they ceremoniously announced a product and then a couple of months later killed it ceremoniously on a stage in front of everyone there to hear about the
we actually get like people were expecting us to announce like a stable version, then we announced that it was dead
with a proper rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. We bought I don't know how many of the people here were there, but we bought a tombstone that said.
Can you raise your hand? Who was that?
How many? Yeah,
somebody told me recently that it's either still there or it's been removed, but there's some law that you can't remove
exactly,
a
that
tombstone.
So we got this like enormous tombstone that said Umbraco 5, rest in peace. And yeah, the venue was furious because they were not allowed to remove it, and it was also heavy, and we forgot about it. Like we just left it there. But then apparently, like the venue found some people to crush it, and then it was not a tombstone anymore. Then it was just gravel. And they got it. I think after 5 years they got it away from the venue.
Okay.
But yeah, it stayed around. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same, this is the vibe that we're all talking about, and I think you guys were there from the beginning. So you created this culture and some kind of vibe behind it, which is staying with the product and community since then. And I personally remember how I was visiting the audience for the first time. I went here for the training, and you were guys training me how to train staff for other Umbraco developers, and I was having expectations, but then they were completely different. So that was crazy, and that exactly defined how you guys wanted to do things, and right now it's of course different, but at the same time there's still vibe, and we are all committing to that, and we are all feeling that. So big kudos for that, and thank you for that.
I think just to put a thing in perspective, I think that period was chaos. It was somewhat control chaos. But coming back to this and see how the company is like a lot of people and this thing is so well organized, no last minute like random ideas, and just see like my personal like quality insurance is like looking at the face of Rune, like how pale is Rune, like how tired is Rune, has he been building a stage for at night the day before the keynote kind of thing, and it seems like those things doesn't happen anymore, which is like really good. It's really good. It's healthy.
Yeah, and Rich, what about you? What would be your highlight of the journey with Umbraco so far?
To be honest, I think probably my first Codegarden because
Which year it was?
it was 3 years ago.
3 years
so
ago.
whatever year that was.
We are bad in math, so.
Just coming to Codegarden, having heard so much about it, and then experiencing it for the first time, it was incredible. It was like, you know, just kind of wide-eyed. I think it was the Umbraco Olympics year, I think.
Yes.
So being in the hall over there and just seeing all of that unfolding was absolutely amazing. And I think to that point that how you can keep that like nucleus of a culture and an idea alive, but you know, organize it in a very regimented way, I think is incredible. So amazing to everyone that's involved. And yeah, that was. The whole thing was just me walking around in complete disbelief, to be honest.
I was speaking with Arnold yesterday, and he was saying how sometimes people, business owners, complain that Codegarden is expensive and all of these things. And it is. There's no getting away from that. But he said people see it as they send their staff to this event and they come back and they're talking about all these amazing, crazy things that happened, and no one's really saying, oh, I learned so much. And you send someone to a boring .NET conference or something, and they're like, yeah, I saw a bunch of talks on this and this and this. But the reason why that happens is because this is unique. These are the things people talk about. These don't happen anywhere else. So you go home, and that's what you tell your colleagues and your friends about, and that's people assume that it's just a massive,
Yeah, absolutely. And to kind of pick up on something that Carla mentioned earlier, so, you know, my background is not being a developer. I am managing director at True. So I see a lot of people come for the business summit and then go again. And if I have managed to get hold of them long enough and intercept them, I just say, don't do that. Next year, come for the whole thing because you're cutting off so much. And also, you know, there's such a variation of talks. There's a huge amount to be learned, and I think, as with learning anything, spend time with the people who are experts in it. And this community is so open to embracing people who come in and have an interest and want to learn and understand. So don't sell yourself short by scrimping on the tickets.
I think I like to think that Blends maybe got some of the Umbraco 6.13% crazy. Is that fair, Carla? I think so. It's
Comment on that one.
seems like a good culture. But Taylor, your first Codegarden. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? How to sum up Codegarden?
So far.
Yeah, so far. I mean, I hear that this evening, it's going to change everything. But no, I mean, being in the U.S., there's obviously a lot of enthusiasm there. But it's still not quite the same market as what you see over here. So being able to be so immersed in the community that I hear about nonstop, it's my job in sales and marketing to make sure a client truly understands why Umbraco is going to work for them. So being here and being immersed and hearing other people talk about, you know, why they've supported Umbraco and come to Codegarden for 15 plus years, why they continue to be so excited about being a part of this community is something that sticks with me, and I can tell will stick with me. So when I go back, I can just even more so enthusiastically explain and advocate for why Umbraco works. But so far, I mean, it's just really fun, and I think all the big crazy things are a blast. But I've been really focused on like the micro experiences that happen, like Andy's an egg and a picture around the conference, and like just the little jokes that go from year to year, and you know, Hammerschlagen and all these things that are happening that you're just like, this is not a typical conference, and it's just fun to be able to experience all of those, even the smallest things.
Yeah. So if you would all will be asked to look at the future for a moment, how do you see this event, community, and maybe products or your involvement as well in the next I wanted to say 20 years, but damn
Let's say 5
it's
or 10.
scary.
I mean,
Scary.
I'm really interested in Per's perspective on this one because you're working in the open source space more generally, and obviously with Docker and a kind of a broader technology set, not super involved in the Umbraco community nowadays. So, as a kind of outsider's perspective, what are you thinking?
Where this product is going to be in 5 years?
Yeah. What's the next big thing on the horizon for Umbraco open source in general, maybe?
So for open source in general,
That's a big question.
yeah, that's a big question. So I'm split between being like a true optimist and just a pessimist. I think we are at like a point now where we see these big movements around AI and the MCP thing you talked about before, and I do think it's going to make a massive change on us, and it can either go totally to shit or it can be a really good experience for all of us. And then it really depends on what we decide to do with it. Do we decide that AI should take over all the fun and interesting parts of development and creating things? Or is it something that allows us to have fun and create and so on? It's like two very different directions. So some people look at this like as a cost-cutting measurement, or some see it as like a lowering the bar into something that's really complicated. And so I think that it is, but it's also complicated to build AI in that sense. So I think what originally was Umbraco's idea and mission, I think is even more important now. Now you talk about orchestration and so on, like complexity is going up. And I think we all have to just be mindful that we need to consistently continue lowering the bar so that you have a bigger group of people that can come with creativity, ideas, even dumb ideas, even crazy ideas, like lowering nails down from the ceiling. That's a dumb idea, but you need to lower the bar so more crazy ideas can come in and be done. And some of them will be good, and some of them will be really terrible. But that's like the whole point of what you can say, innovation and creativity. So that's like my very broad view of it. That's what I would love to see that technology go. I would love to see my kids use AI to have fun and be creative and learn as humans, and not for them to just take over, just sit back and be like a drone.
Yeah. Nice. Rich Taylor.
I mean, I think it would be hard to not talk about AI, right? It's always hard to not talk about AI, and it's also hard to talk about AI. So I think, so firstly, I think that the future of Codegarden is great, because I think, that, like I said a moment ago, the spirit and the culture that's at the heart of it is what makes it enduring and long-lasting, and that will survive. I think in terms of the products, what we saw at the keynote earlier in the week is really positive to ensure that we're keeping Umbraco at the core of distributing content to where it needs to be on the internet. But I think, one of the things I've said before is that as a human, I have no interest in spending my life reading things that have been written by a robot and or listening to robot music it's really difficult. We have to use that technology in the right way, and like any technology, and I know I don't look like it, but I've been doing this for 20 years now, and there's been a lot of tidal waves, and I think you have to ride that wave with optimism, and you have to say, we can use this in the right way and with responsibility, and not just use it to just fire out content faster and cheaper.
And I was going to just add to that and saying, like, AI is, if we're focusing on AI, is just moving at a pace that I don't think anyone can truly, 5 years feels like, I don't know, like, what the heck could that look like? But I think something that Umbraco has a really strong advantage with is their sense of, like, Umbraco knows who they are. They do things authentically, and even moving forward and adapting this product, it's always been like, it won't be adapted just to adapt. And I feel like other CMSs that maybe are competitors, I feel like it maybe are in that vibe of like, we adapt to adapt. But even the way Umbraco rolled out the things they mentioned at the keynote, it feels very authentic to their mission, their goal, this community that continues to back it. So I feel like even if we have no idea how it's gonna evolve over 5 years, it's still nice to have that confidence that in 5 years, it still feels like it's going to be a product that we can be proud of, just ever more so efficient, or whatever else is added to it.
Exciting. Well, let's give our two new MVPs a big clap. Well done, and great to see Per back as well. Let's give them a clap.
Thank you, guys.
Be sure to take some Umbracoffee coffee with you.
And you can grab mugs if you want to.
TSA hates to see me come in.
Awesome.
you.
And just whilst we are on the topic of Taylor and US Festival, it's 2nd and 3rd of October this year in Chicago. Tickets on sale.
Tickets are on sale. You guys already missed the early bird cutoff, so sorry about that. But tickets are on sale. See you there.
Taylor said, for those that can't hear online, tickets are on sale. You missed the early birds, but buy one anyway. It was a genuinely great event last year. So, well, here we are.
And that's probably the end. And we'll still remind once again that we need subscribers. Because if not, we will be replaced by AI, and this podcast will be done with automatic voices.
Matt Brailsford's done a pretty good job of doing half of that already.
And if we will do it, that will be boring. And hopefully we won't go this direction. But no, really, thank you very much for first of all, being with us today here in person. For all of those who are watching and watching us every month, that's amazing. And thank you also for bringing the content to the table. I do believe that we'll have a lot to talk about after Codegarden and during the year. And please, again, contribute, because that's all about contributions, because we do not have anything to talk about if you are not doing anything amazing. So that keep us busy with the ideas. And yeah, that was a nice summary. And I think ideas, contributions, and adapt or die.
And fun and community
that's the
and all the other
summary.
things. We've got 13 bags of coffee left, so let's not encourage a race to the front. But at the end, come say hi. We've got some coffee to give you. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of Codegarden, and we'll be live at the end of the month again.
Yes.
I guess. Cool. Bye.
Thank you.